Syndra and the Ghost Willow.
People fear what they cannot understand.
Syndra possesses a history deeply, albeit violently, entangled with Ionia's sacred natural magic. As a child in Navori, Syndra struggled with powerful, uncontrolled magic, often leading to blame and teasing from her family, particularly her brother Evard. Seeking solace, she frequented the sacred tree in her village known as the Ghost Willow. Now, we don't know if the Ghost Willow's origins are from a God Willow seed that spread when it fell, or if it's its own unique willow tree with no ties to the God Willow. But it's definitely powerful. Unbeknownst to her though, one warm evening, Evard and his friends followed her to the Ghost Willow. They snickered at her childish tears. Her shame and rage grew as she tried to ignore their insults, until one of them threw a clump of dirt at her head. Syndra could no longer control her emotions. All her anger erupted from deep within her in the form of dark, shining magical orbs. This powerful ability had been dormant until now. It flared with volatile strength, the orbs like pearls of negativity that leached the spirit magic from the world around her, draining the Ghost Willow of its life essence. Evard and his friends backed away in horror as the ancient tree twisted, its bark withering to a tarry black. That is again 100% from the lore. A clump of dirt turned Syndra from a sweet child to most likely a Riot raid boss. But deprived of the Ghost Willow, the villagers grew concerned that their connection to the spirit of Ionia had been severed, and Syndra's family was to blame. They were eventually forced to move on in search of a new home, as all had become fearful of her magic. They eventually entrusted her to a hermit priest named Konajin on the isolated island of Phalor, hoping he could teach her control. Within a cliffside temple of dark stone, Syndra initially tried to embrace Konajin's teachings, but grew frustrated as her magic seemed to weaken over the years. Confronting her mentor, she discovered the devastating truth. Konajin had been deliberately dampening her power, fearing its negative, reality-warping potential which had grown beyond his ability to guide. This profound betrayal ignited Syndra's fury. She killed Konajin and unleashed her power not just against him, but against the temple and the island of Phalor itself, draining raw magic from the island.
I will not hold back.
The island, or perhaps the spirit of Ionia itself, reacted defensively. As Syndra's negative energy reached an unprecedented concentration, the bedrock beneath her fractured. Roots erupted, dragging her deep underground into a cavern and immersing her in a pool of living water, designed to suppress her powers and trap her in a magical slumber. This location is known as the Dreaming Pool. This is really interesting. The forceful containment by natural elements acts akin to an immune response, suggesting the land itself, possibly through systems like the sacred trees, works to neutralize extreme magical imbalances, or energies fundamentally harmful to Ionia's balanced nature. And it's important to understand Syndra's interaction with magic.